People like you, no job, no proper education, aren't welcome in this house. That's what my mother-in-law said to me before she did something I could never have imagined. Without any warning, she poured boiling water on me. It's hot, please stop, I cried out, instinctively backing away, shocked and trembling. I couldn't believe what had just happened. Who does something like that? Luckily, the hot water didn't leave any serious burns, but it could have ended badly. I stood there, stunned, my heart pounding, not just from the pain, but from disbelief. My mother-in-law had truly crossed a line. What kind of person would do something so cruel? And the worst part, she was blaming me for being unemployed when it was actually her son, my husband, Raffle, who hadn't worked in months. I was the one keeping the household afloat. I was the one earning money, trading stocks from home and bringing in about $30,000 a month. But she didn't know that. A wave of anger rose inside me. I had tried so hard to keep peace in this house, but now I realized it wasn't worth it. If that's how you feel, I said, my voice steady despite the tears threatening to fall, then I have no choice. I'll leave this house. Good, finally, she replied without a shred of regret. It's about time. Things will be so much easier without you here. I packed my bags quickly. I didn't want to stay a minute longer. I returned to my parents' home, a place where I could finally breathe. I had no intention of ever going back, not even if she came crying to me later, desperate for help. Let her struggle, let her regret what she did. I owed her nothing. It hadn't always been like this. I met Raffle in university. We both studied economics and dreamed of working in finance. After graduation, we got jobs at different brokerage firms. Life was busy, but we made time for each other. A few years later, he proposed. Julia, I'll make you happy, marry me. I believed him. I said yes, thinking we'd build a beautiful life together. But not long after the wedding, he asked me something unexpected. Julia, would you quit your job and live with me at my mom's house? What? I don't mind quitting my job, but we're newlyweds. I thought we'd live on our own. I'm just worried about my mother. She's alone. I promise she won't be a burden. His father had passed away when he was a teenager, and he'd lived with his mom ever since. I understood why he felt responsible for her. So, despite my concerns, I agreed. Okay, I'll move in. 2 weeks later, we settled into his childhood home. His mother welcomed Raffle with a warm smile, but the moment she looked at me, her expression turned cold. I saw it clearly, she didn't want me there. I brushed it off, hoping things would improve. The very next morning, she shouted at me. Are you still sleeping? Get up and make breakfast. I looked at the clock. It was just past 4 a.m. I was shocked. Was this normal here? Why so early? I asked. Don't act lazy just because you're jobless, she snapped. Still half asleep, I got up and cooked. The entire time, she hovered behind me, criticizing everything. You're so slow, why does it take you this long? After half an hour, breakfast was finally ready. I'm sorry for the wait. You call this fast? She scoffed, pathetic. I bit my tongue and forced a smile. She took one bite and immediately started complaining. This soup is too salty. Are you trying to kill me? No, I don't think it's that salty. Oh, so now you're saying my taste is off. Unbelievable. I felt crushed. Why was she being so mean to me? I finally gathered the courage to ask. Why are you treating me like this? What are you talking about? Don't try to make me the villain, she replied, her tone ice cold. I couldn't say anything back. I just stared at my plate. Finish eating, then clean. After that, do the laundry. You've got no time to rest. And just like that, my life became a never-ending loop of housework and emotional abuse. Every day, she criticized everything I did. You missed a spot there. This shirt still has a stain. You don't even know how to clean properly. A month passed like this, and I was reaching my breaking point. I finally turned to Raffle for support. Your mother, she's always saying such harsh things to me. It's wearing me down. Can you please talk to her? But Raffle didn't say a word. His face was pale, almost lifeless. He looked exhausted, like something was eating him from the inside out. Raffle? I asked again, concerned. And that's when I noticed something wasn't right with him at all. After everything that had happened, I could tell something was wrong with Rafael. His shoulders were slumped, and he looked uneasy, as if he was carrying something heavy inside. What's wrong? I asked softly. Did something happen? He hesitated, looking away for a moment before finally saying it. Actually, I've been fired. I blinked. What? It's not a joke, he said quietly. The company's been downsizing. They let me go. For a moment, I couldn't speak. My mind was racing, trying to make sense of what I had just heard. So, you're unemployed now? I asked. I have about a month left. That's how much notice they gave us, he explained. But after that, I listened in silence as he told me how the company was struggling financially due to the economic downturn. Many employees had been laid off, and he was one of them. Despite how serious it sounded, I wasn't panicked. After I had quit my job, I started using what I'd learned while working at the securities company to trade stocks. At first, it was hard. I made mistakes, lost money, and doubted myself. But I kept studying and learning. Slowly, things turned around. Now, I was earning around $30,000 a month. I told Raphael not to worry and comforted him, even though I was still being mistreated by his mother. Somehow, that didn't matter anymore. I felt I had to stay strong for him, to support him. From the next day on, I tried my best to endure her harsh words. A month passed, and Raphael officially lost his job. He started off searching for work, or at least pretending to. But as the days went by, I noticed a change. He stopped trying. He stayed home most days, scrolling on his phone, watching TV, or taking naps. One day, I gently brought it up. Raphael, do you think you should look harder for a job? He sighed. I am looking. But nothing feels like a good fit. I don't want to work for just any company. His words hurt me more than I expected. I was waking up early, cooking, cleaning, enduring constant complaints from his mother, and running a full-time trading business online. Meanwhile, he was simply relaxing. I didn't say anything then, but my heart felt heavier every day. His mother's harassment only got worse. You're useless, she would say. You don't even work. Just eating and sleeping like a parasite. It was exhausting. At first, I told myself to endure it, to be patient because Raphael was going through a hard time. But I was reaching my limit. Then, one morning, Raphael got up early and went out. I thought maybe, finally, he had gone to a job interview. I stayed behind and started cleaning as usual. His mother was in the living room, sipping her coffee like a queen on her throne. Make sure you don't miss the corners, she said sharply. You lazy thing. I didn't reply. I was too tired to even argue. But she exploded. Are you ignoring me now? Who do you think you are? You're just a daughter-in-law without a job or education. I still didn't answer. That's when it happened. In a flash of anger, she threw her hot coffee water at me. It's hot. Stop. I shouted, stepping back in shock. Thankfully, it wasn't boiling, but it still splashed on my arms and clothes. I was lucky not to be burned. She looked at me, smug. If you're not going to work, then get out of this house. That was the last straw. All right, I said. I'll leave. Her expression changed to one of twisted satisfaction. Good. Finally. I went upstairs, packed my things in silence, and left the house that very day. When I arrived at my parents' home, they were surprised but welcomed me with open arms. I didn't tell them everything right away. I needed time to process it all. I expected a call or message from Raphael. Something. But days passed. Then weeks. A whole month went by. Nothing. I started to feel foolish. Did he even care? One early morning, the doorbell rang. I looked at the monitor and saw both Raphael and his mother standing outside. I was stunned. I answered through the intercom. Yes? His mother's voice was loud and confident. I've forgiven you. Come back now. Forgiven me? For what? I was so angry I almost laughed. I haven't done anything wrong. You're the one who kicked me out, I replied and turned off the intercom. They didn't leave. They banged on the door, yelling and calling my name. Afraid of disturbing the neighbors, I reluctantly opened the door and let them in. We sat down in the living room. The silence between us was tense. "You told me to leave," I said calmly. "And now you're here to bring me back. You're acting like a child," his mother snapped. I said, "I forgive you." "Isn't that enough?" I stared at her. "You called me useless and threw hot water on me." "I didn't mean it like that," she muttered. "Anyway, just come back." Raphael stayed silent. "I'm not unemployed," I said firmly. "Your son is. I've been supporting both of you. And now you want me to come back and be treated like a servant again?" His mother turned to Raphael in shock. "What is she saying?" Finally, Raphael confessed. He admitted he had been fired and hadn't told her. That I was the one making money and keeping the household afloat. "You idiot," she shouted at him. "Why didn't you tell me?" "What are we going to do now?" "I thought she could handle it," Raphael muttered. I couldn't believe it. He didn't even feel guilty. He expected me to quietly carry all the weight. "I'm done," I said. They both looked at me. "You what?" I walked to my drawer and brought out a document. It was a divorce form. Raphael stared at it in disbelief. "You're kidding, right?" "I'm not." "You didn't even call me after I left. You didn't protect me. You didn't care." "Wait. Let's talk." "No. There's nothing more to say." Raphael hesitated, but finally picked up the pen and signed. "Fine. But don't come running back later." "I won't," I said coldly. "I'm not the one who'll regret this. You are." And with that, I ended the chapter of my life with Raphael and his toxic mother. I walked them to the door, closed it behind them, and felt something I hadn't felt in months. Peace.